Welcome to our podcast. Finding professional learning resources can sometimes be overwhelming. With tools and resources scattered across the company in multiple platforms and mediums, it isn't always easy to find the right tools for the right time to learn more about Jack Henry or to work on your professional development. JHA's Learning and Development team is working to fix that problem with a new associate development site called the Knowledge Drop. And here to talk more about the Knowledge Drop is Kimberly Mungle, manager of JHA's Learning and Development team. So Kimberly, what is the Knowledge Drop? What does Knowledge Drop mean?
What is Knowledge Drop? That's a great question. The name Knowledge Drop comes from the current idiom to drop some knowledge. So if you tell someone or a group of people that you're about to drop some knowledge, it means you're about to educate them on something. So it's fitting that a learning resource would be about education, right? And because we love a good acronym here at Jack Henry, DROP is an acronym for Developmental Resources, Opportunities, and Programs. And that's exactly what Knowledge Drop is. It's a place to find all types of resources, programs, clubs, etc., to really develop our associates in their current role or for future roles as well. And another reason that we landed on Knowledge Drop is because we recognize that our associates, they don't learn best from the fire hose method. Having a massive amount of information, dumped on them isn't effective for anyone. It's not effective for any adult learner for that matter. However, a steady drop of knowledge or a cadence and delivery of knowledge is best. And this allows for reflection and application and practice. The ability to learn at different paces in different environments and from different mediums. And best of all, I think from each other is how we can truly create a healthy learning environment. And the Knowledge Drop is really going to support that.
As an associate, how can I find this resource and what's on it?
Well, you can find it by visiting JHA today. So next time you're out there, catching up on JHA news or, finding out, who you need to go wish a happy birthday to, or, let's be honest, you're out there reading, Stop Doing Stupid Stuff. Just click on that Knowledge Drop tab. And then once you're in the site, you're going to see many of our featured learning experiences there at the top. Right now, I believe, one of the experiences that we're featuring is our digital cleanse. So that's a micro learning that will help you organize your digital world. So things like your email and your calendar. There's also a link to the JackChats podcast up there at the top, which is what you're listening to right now. So yes, podcasts are a great way to learn. And in the JackChats podcast, often features different associates, JHA products, events that are happening at our company. Then if you kind of scroll down below that, you'll see a calendar of upcoming instructor-led courses and webinars that are in JHU. So, both live classes and virtual ones as well. Below that, you can click on several links that will take you out to learn more about our CPI team, our continuous process improvement team. Links out to, Toastmasters. So we have several Toastmaster clubs at different JHA offices. Maybe you want to join a book club. We've got a link out there for book clubs. I know that I have personally participated in several book clubs since I've been here at Jack Henry, and those have all been virtual book clubs. I am a remote employee, so it's nice to be able to participate in a virtual book club. And I have learned so much from those, not just from actually reading the book, but from hearing other people's perspectives. The other cool thing about the Knowledge Drop site is that you're going to find developmental opportunities that are aligned with our leadership framework. So as you know, all of us here at JHA, our performance is going to be measured against the leadership framework. So if there are areas of the framework that you want to grow in, You can, go to that area on the site. You can choose learning experiences related to those qualities. So, for example, maybe I want to grow in the results producer area. I could go to the site. I could click on develop by quality, then click on results producer. And then from there, maybe I want to watch a TED Talk. Maybe I want to read an article from LinkedIn. Maybe I want to take a course on decision making. There's a multitude of ways to grow in those skills. And you know what? I might want to do all three of those over the course of a month or a quarter or even the fiscal year. Because as I mentioned before, sometimes having the ability to do things at your own pace and when it makes sense for you is when the best learning will take place.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of great resources there. So are we moving away from traditional learning like classroom experiences? I'm hearing you mention TED Talks and podcasts and book clubs.
There will always be a place for formal education. I am an advocate of that. So classroom education is always going to be around. But yes, I would say that we are moving in a bit of a different direction. And that might sound strange to hear from someone on the learning and development team, but it really shouldn't. Actually, it should be very reassuring. It's important that the learning and development team meet our learners where they are and truly understand their needs. And many times our associates, our learners, are looking for informal, self-directed developmental opportunities. Those instances of just-in-time learning, on-demand training, knowledge sharing from their peers or SMEs in the organization. So it's critical that the L&D team enable and encourage that type of learning as well.
Learning and development is part of the talent development function of HR at Jack Henry. We also have Tiffany Haynes, General Manager of HR and Payroll, here to talk about why using innovative tools like the Knowledge Drop is important.
One of the great things about innovation is that it's pretty simple to do. And at least for me and my perspective, I do that in a way by listening and then improving. And they can be really small tweaks. And a recent example of that would be the HR buzz. So I was sending out these quarterly messages, but then I just saw these other emails coming through. And I'm like, this is too much for people. We're kind of spamming them. And I said, let's take a pause and step back and think about, what is the associate, what must they know? What should they know? What's nice to know? And can we kind of organize and coordinate what we're talking about and putting it in that format? And I got really great feedback from that, from associates just thanking me, thanking the team for making it easier for them. And that's really the key to innovation. The key to it is, how can I give back time? How can I think about it from an employee perspective and go through that lens and think about what processes, what practices need to be challenged and improved, what lessons we can learn. And we do that by listening, by taking risks, by trying new things as we go. And I have that attitude, particularly in HR. It's just like, let's just make small changes. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. This is a safe place to fail. And we can make mistakes and then we can get better and pivot. And we just continually choose to innovate and to make it better as we go with the help of the people at Jack Henry.
So why should I, as an associate, visit the Knowledge Drop? What's in it for me?
Well, in addition to what I've already mentioned, I think the main advantage of visiting the Knowledge Drop would be that, everything is in one place. It's a comprehensive list of all developmental opportunities, and it's, constantly growing and updated. It's evergreen. It's an opportunity for associates to own their development by finding and choosing which learning experience they need specific to their knowledge gaps. And, I think another advantage of implementing the Knowledge Drop will be ensuring that our associates are receiving the appropriate content. Employees in corporations today, they have access to everything. They have access to videos, to articles, to, professional networks to any number of, non-approved resources online. And since, not all of that content is going to be vetted by the L&D team, that information could be contrary to our organization's values. And the fact of the matter is, we can't monitor every piece of information on the internet, nor do we want to. I'm pretty sure we're not going to get, headcount approved to monitor every piece of information on the internet. But what we can do with a site like the Knowledge Drop is we can provide an overview of pre-approved learning sources. And in JHA, we've partnered with, multiple learning vendors to offer a wide variety of learning experiences, of many subjects, various subjects to our associates. And of course, as these learning opportunities are published and socialized on the Knowledge Drop, employees, they'll know about those courses, and they'll know, and they can feel secure in knowing that they align with JHA's organizational goals and with our leadership framework qualities.
And Tiffany, can you talk a little bit about why development of associates at all levels is so important for Jack Henry?
Well, obviously at the base of our leadership framework is that self-developer element. And it is at the bottom for a reason, because you have to be a great self-developer. You have to want to learn. You have to want to grow, because if we don't, we become complacent and our knowledge becomes stagnant. So I think it's so important that associates have that mindset of learning. We're constantly learning and learning things that don't necessarily directly relate to our role or the job we do every day. I'm continually spending time with different peers on their financials or how certain processes work, right? Because we all have to have that understanding of the interconnections. And oftentimes you have to go after that information, it doesn't just fall in your lap. That's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about the Associate Knowledge Drop, because we've tried to culminate all of that information that's been scattered in different places and put it in one spot that you can access and think about. But the challenge is, people have to use it. You have to want to develop. You have to want to manage your career. You have to want to learn. And carving out that time on your calendar takes practice and takes discipline. I know each day on my calendar, I have a good 30 minutes blocked out first thing in the morning when I come in. I look through things that are happening in the industry. I look through different classes or just different articles that I've marked that I want to look at, because you can get so busy down in the weeds and just jump in, and then you forget about yourself. You forget about your own learning and your own self-development, just trying to get your task list worked. So that's a discipline and that's a practice, but I'm very passionate about it because everybody deserves to be developed. They deserve to do that for themselves, and they have to actively pursue that in order to make it a practice in their life.
Kimberly, what's next for the Knowledge Drop?
Well, I see the site growing with more content. This is the launch. It's the beginning. We have big plans for it. I also see this as really a collaborative hub, as a knowledge share place. We recognize that we recognize all the knowledge capital that JJ has, and we really want to take advantage of that. We want to help our associates share what they know so they can learn from each other. And in the end, I think the goal of the Knowledge Drop is, I hope it will help JHA associates feel in charge of their development, and that they'll take advantage of the various learning opportunities that are available to them.
Tiffany, I've heard you talk about owning our development as associates, and the Knowledge Drop sounds like a great tool to help with that. What's your vision for associate development now and in JHA's future?
I'd say my vision for the future of developing associates is that it would just become very cultural for us, just very natural. I think sometimes we work too hard at learning, and we think about it too formal versus just in our everyday life. And one of the things that I'd love to see is just for us to adopt this continuous natural evolution of learning, and think about every situation that we go through and tasks that we're faced with. How can I make this better? How can I get better at it? And then as a people team, making sure that we're putting the right tools and resources in your hands, but allowing the associate to truly own that and to go after it and to want to go after it and to make the time to go after it. And I think that's a challenge for us right now. We're so busy. Sometimes we're not making the time. We're expecting other people to make the time for us, and it just doesn't work like that. It's too challenging. So I think my overall vision is that we just become this natural learning organization, so that associates feel as though they own their career, they own their knowledge, they can grow in their roles, they can talk about that growth, they can share that knowledge with other people, and we can really begin to truly flourish in that capacity.